Hey everybody, it's Jeff. Welcome to another episode of Stay Rad Wine Blog TV. I was swinging by the grocery store, picking up some supplies to make some dinner. I just wanted to do like a simple pasta, like with a nice tomato, basil, mushroom sauce. And I was looking at some wines to pair with it. I was just thinking like some sort of like Italian red, like not a Chianti. I just wasn't feeling it, and I was thinking, maybe I was gonna try like a Barbera, but then something caught my eye. Recently I've been thinking a bit more about Malbec, which is a wine that I really like. I just haven't had any in a while. Recently, I saw a really nice article and a couple really nice videos on winefolly.com, and they talked all about Malbec, and it really just started getting me thinking about it again. This is a red grape that is very well known in the country of Argentina, and it's exploded down there over the past 10 years or so. They've been planting it for a while, and it's really, Argentina's kind of made a name for itself in a good way since like the 1990s, when they really started making some good Malbecs. But this is a grape originally from Bordeaux, so this is one of the original Bordeaux grapes, typically more of a blending grape in France, but in Argentina they've done a really good job of just doing a single varietal red, and it's kind of nice. This one is the Numero Uno 2008 Malbec from Mendoza, Argentina, and there's a couple reasons why this one stuck out to me. One is this bottle's kind of neat. This number 1 on the front, it's actually three-dimensional here, so it's glued on and it does kind of stick out. I've seen this wine quite a few times walking through Trader Joe's. In fact, I remember New Year's Eve 2010 going into 2011, I was down in LA at a Trader Joe's down there, and they had a big display of this. I'm like, oh, that's a cool looking bottle. And then today I saw one of these things hanging around the neck, and I'm sure you've seen things like that before when you're at a grocery store or a bigger wine retailer. But it looks like the Wine Spectator gave this vintage of this wine right here a 90. One thing I wanted to say real quick, just kind of came to mind. Sometimes you'll go to bigger wine retailers and they will list wine ratings. They sell a lot of wine just based on ratings. Like if there's a 90, folks are usually going to pay for it, pay money for it. But also you pay for it in the sense that sometimes they're listing ratings, but it's for different vintages. So it's always very, very key that when you see things like this, or when you see a sign that they put up, double check that that's the vintage that is actually in stock, because you don't want to get got once you get home and you realize that it ain't that hot. If you're buying it off of the ratings, make sure that it is the vintage that you're looking at. So that kind of stuck out to me, and the price kind of stuck out to me. Malbecs in general, are definitely on the cheaper end of the spectrum. They are not super expensive yet. The best Malbecs in the world are ranging between 60 and $100. You compare that to the best Cabernets in the world, and you're talking several hundred to several $1,000s per bottle. So there's a nice price to quality ratio right there. This one was $15, an entry level Malbec, but already getting some good scores, and I'm kind of excited to get into this. Enough of me yapping. It's been 4.5 minutes. Let's start a drinking. Beautiful color on this Malbec right here. So this is where we really are talking about just straight up purple right here. Straight up like, you stab Barney in the side of the neck and the blood comes out and it mixes with the purple color, and that's really what you're getting right here. Kind of eerie. Sorry if I scared your children just now. I apologize. Let's look at the nose here. A little bit of a dusty nose, a little bit of a chalky nose. There is a little bit of vanilla on the nose, like a little bit of oak there, kind of nice. And as far as fruits, you know, in general, when I think of Malbec, I do think of darker, juicier kind of fruits. Like it's almost like the juiciness of a Merlot, and the explosive juiciness of a Merlot, but also like the body of a good Cabernet. It's kind of like, you know, riding the line, but definitely the fruits are always darker and juicier. That's what I tend to get on these wines. And as far as the fruits here, you know, some good like black plum, some blackberry. I mean, just this is dark and eerie, and I'm excited about it. Let's just dive in here. Yeah, off the bat, you know, actually the fruits on the palate kind of threw me for a loop for a second. I'm getting more red characteristics as far as fruit. I'm getting like some cranberry. I'm getting some red apple, which, by the way, I've been getting a lot lately in a lot of red wines. I've got some red apple jumping in there. And also, you know, I am getting like some red cherries, just a little bit on the tart side, and again with the cranberries, you kind of think there's a little bit of tartness there. There's a nice long acidity to this, and there are some nice fine tannins there that are lasting throughout. I mean, there's a nice good mouthfeel. The body itself, you know, it's light to medium, you know, closer to medium. Let me get back in here. Yeah, a little bit of raspberry, a little bit of red plum. There's kind of a little bike tire characteristic. I gotta say, you know, this is where those rating cards kind of mess you up sometimes, because I gotta say that I'm not a huge fan of buying on ratings, and a lot of times when I do buy on ratings, it's not really like, oh, this must be amazing. It's me saying, is that really what it is? And everybody, when we taste wines, they're gonna taste differently to different people. I mean, you know, I was watching this film about evolution, and they were talking about, you know, the evolution of our senses. You know, molecules don't have flavors. Molecules don't have smells. Those smells and those flavors, they reside inside of the individual, right? And our body chemistry, we're all a little bit different. And so, you know, what tastes good to me, what smells good to me, although it's going to be close to you guys because we're all human beings, you know, there are going to be subtle differences. You know, I mean, again, you compare, you know, trash smells horrible to us, but it smells great to, like, you know, maggots. And I'm sorry, I really feel like what I'm doing here is I'm doing a disservice to this wine, because it is good. It's not really my cup of tea. I think it's going to go nice with the pasta I'm going to make later. I think this is a good food-friendly wine. It's just when you see that score, right, it kind of throws you for a loop, and it makes you say, you know, is that really a 90-pointer? I don't think it is. Let me give it one more taste. I want to give you a good, honest score here. $15, by the way. It's nice. It's nice. I've definitely had better Malbecs. I think the nose on this was great, and then it just, that kind of built me up, and that score built me up to be a little disappointed, but it's a good wine. I'm giving it an 87 plus. And if you want to try it, if you want to have like a cool bottle, a cool looking bottle on hand, and you want to say, oh, Wine Spectator gave it, or Wine Enthusiast gave it a 90, so it's got to be good. You can go ahead and do that. I would just say really taste around, like try Bodega Norton, try Graffinia, like I've really liked that one in the past. Try them all, and they are going to change from vintage to vintage, and when you are getting some pretty decent wines at a pretty decent price, it's kind of nice because you can shop around and compare and see who is more consistent. But yeah, this one for me, 87 plus. I probably wouldn't buy this one again. I'd probably try something different the next time I was in a Malbec type of mood. I guess that's it for today. I do have a question for you. When was the last time you were in a Malbec type of mood? Hopefully you are in one after this film. Again, I apologize if I offended your kids with the Barney thing. I just gotta keep it legit, yo. Everybody, stay rad.